Are you wondering where the first half of 2019 went? Did you think you'd be further along with your goals, the goals that you set at the beginning of the year, than you are now? In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 steps to get back on track and stay on track for the rest of the year with your goals, with the things that God called you to do. You know, the Bible says that when we get distracted, we can't accomplish much. But when we focus and cultivate on what God called and chose us to do, His promise is that we can bear much fruit. My name is Krista Pettiford, and I've been gone for a while from YouTube, but I'm back now, and you can expect one video a week from me on teachings, tips, and encouragement to help you walk in your calling with clarity, confidence, and courage. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel to get notified each week. And you can log on to my website, kristapettiford.com, if you need more encouragement and more teaching. I have a free workbook. It's called a 28-day lifestyle reset workbook. And that again is a 28-day lifestyle reset workbook that will help you focus on what God called you to do and walk you through this reset. I've used it for many years, and I've challenged women, and it's helped them reset their lifestyle to make it more God-centered and focused on their priorities. Today, as I said, I'm going to go over those 5 steps that will help you get back on track with your goals. The first thing I want you to do to help you simplify your life, this is going to help you simplify your life and your schedule, because we put so many things on our schedule. Before we know it, we have added projects upon projects to what God has called us to do, and we've said yes to many things, and those are things that the Bible calls distractions in Mark 4 in the parable of how the word goes into our heart. And that word is not just the word of God that comes directly out of the Bible, but His promises that He gives us and the things that He chooses us to do, those specific things that He has in store for us. We let things crowd around those things, and then we get off focus, and they are covered with all these distractions and thorns, and they don't bear fruit. And so we're going to talk about that. The first thing I want you to do is to get a piece of paper, and you hear me fumbling with paper. Get a piece of paper that looks something just like this. This is my notebook, and I want you to list everything on your to-do list on this piece of paper. Just go for it. Be honest. Your vision, your goals, all the things that you're working on, the things that you're planning to work on, and all your projects, and just go for it. You can be brutally honest, because nobody is looking with you. Just pour out your heart of all those things. You know, as women, we make mental to-do lists. So it might not be on a vision board, it might not be in your planner, but it's probably someplace in your head. I need to work on this, I need to work on that. Ooh, I'd like to try this project, and all of that. However, there's a lot that we have going on when you're a modern Christian woman, when you're serving the Lord and you're serving your family and you're in ministry and you have all these different roles and responsibilities in your life that God has called you to, and some that He didn't. So I want you to write all those things down that you're working on. That's number 1. Number 2, get another clean sheet of paper, and I want you to write across the top of the paper, good and God. Just that, good and God. It's a test that I gave myself and that I did a blog post on called Good or God Test after I read a book, and I can't think of the author's name right now. I'll link it below, but I don't know that it's in his book, Joan Bevere. But when I read like the first couple of chapters because I didn't finish the book. I got inspired to just stop and do this test. And so I created it and put it on my blog. And so that's what I'm going to walk you through right now. Good or God. And I want you to get all those things that you listed. And I want you to just be honest, again, brutally honest. And you put them under the good side and the God side. And I'll tell you the difference, because sometimes we say, well, if it's good, then it's God. But sometimes there are good things that are not the things that God called us to do, that distracts us from what we're supposed to be doing. So you have to identify those, and you know what they are in your heart. And if you don't, take some time to pray about the ones that you're not sure about. But if you listen to your heart and you listen to God speaking to you, you will know what goes on that good side and what goes on the God side. And more than likely, your God side is going to be shorter than your good side, because he says only one or a few things are necessary. Jesus in Luke chapter 10, and Mary chose the good portion, that which would not be taken away from her, and that was sitting at his feet first, hearing his word, and then from there she was able to do what she was supposed to do. So that's number 2. Get a clean sheet of paper and write good or God across the top. And then number 3, I went over that one. List the things under there, and I explained what good or God is. And then I want you to circle only the top 5 things on your God side. You're going to leave the other things alone, the things that you have identified as good. Sometimes we have awesome ideas, good things that have downloaded, but you haven't finished the thing that God called you to do. You haven't finished the thing that you got started on that you said was good at the beginning of the year, because here's another good thing that has come up. So I want you to identify only the top 5. If there's that many. If there's not, great. If there is, identify only the top 5 things on your God side of the list and circle those. And then that was number 4. Number 5, I want you to then put them in order of importance. Not just to you, but according to what God called you to do, and the things that you started working on that you believe that He called you to do. When you sat down and you wrote your goals and your vision, and even if you didn't take time to write them out at the beginning of the year, you knew what you went into the year working on. You knew what you started on. It could be a goal to build a ministry, write a book, start eating right, spend more time in prayer, make extra money, exercise. I mean, I don't know what it is, whatever God has called you to do, because it's not just about what we do out there, but I want to share with women how to be who God called them to be. And that takes a healthy balance of understanding who we are and being comfortable in our identity and what's going on with us personally, not just what we present to the world and what we do, but who we be. And so whatever it is that you need to focus on that is in the top 5, order them according to what you know God may have said. I want you to work on your health. I want you to get more rest this year. Or I have this thing I want you to do or build, or I want you to start a blog. Who knows what it is? You and God does. So that is the 5 things. But then number 6, which is an extra bonus, is I want you to commit to work on the first thing until it's done. Then move on to the next thing. If you do this, as I promised at the beginning of the video, by the end of the year, you will have accomplished your greatest goals and be further along in fulfilling your God-given calling. If you'll just work on that first thing instead of multitasking. I used to be a big believer in multitasking because I have 4 children. They're adults now, believe it or not. I was a teen mom, so I had my first daughter at 16, and so I have children that will be 29 to 21 right now, and they're all turning age up this year, and so God has kept me. That's part of living a healthy Christian life. But I want you to not multitask, because it doesn't work. Multitasking is easy to do when we are just doing mindless things. But when we are really focusing and we're trying to write a book and we're trying to write a blog and we're trying to do all these different things and we're starting several different projects, or we're trying to really focus in with God, but we have our phone here, or we're trying to, write, for me, write a book or something, write some chapters, but I want to do a YouTube, I want to watch a YouTube video in between. Or those are distractions. We need to give our undivided attention to what we're doing and be present in the moment with the people that God has given to us in those relationships. That's being a good steward over our time and our relationships. And it also helps when we are working on something. Finish that thing. You're going to feel so good when you finish that one goal. I just finished writing a book and it'll be out soon in August, but I just finished writing that book and I was doing several different things, and I just said I have to stop and I'm gonna finish writing this book, and now I can move on to the next thing that God called me to do, which is why I'm back on YouTube, because now I have time for that. And so it feels amazing when you finish your goals. It lets you know what you are capable of, what God has put into you. You get to see the fulfillment of your vision. So I want to encourage you to do that. So I want to go back, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and let me know in the comments what your goals are, what you're working on, and if this video was helpful for you, and if there's anything else that you want me to share. At the beginning of the year, I normally share a prophetic message with the prophetic message over the year, what God is saying over the year, and then sometimes I come in and share what he's speaking throughout the year. But I also like to give women practical tips, because this is how we walk it out. And so we are physical and spiritual beings, and God has fearfully and wonderfully made us. And so anyway, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. God bless.